Hi everyone. It is now episode 15 of A Sky Full of Stars, where Akito is grateful for Hikari because she was able to fix his telescope. Well, it wasn't broken, it was just that Akito didn't know how to use it. So when Hikari brought a tripod and taught Akito how to use it, he looked inside, he saw the moon, and it reminded him of all the memories of when he was with his parents, who passed away early. And the telescope really represents that time because it's the only thing that he has left from his parents. And now with Hikari fixing the telescope is now a tool rather than a brick. So let's see how it goes from here. Okay, so Hikari says, yeah, it seems pretty philosophical, doesn't it? So I kind of feel like Hikari isn't the brightest student, so even though she's all energetic, all active, all enthusiastic, but I think she kind of struggles when it comes to the academics. But still, isn't this great? So at least you can see the stars. That's a big step forward. So I'm just wondering what Hikari has to say. What else she has to say. Okay, so well, now that the telescope works, maybe you can show Saya what you mean by her eyes looking like the Albireo stars. So when you mentioned that to Saya on her first day at the school that Hikari and Akito is in, it made her cry, and she thought Albireo meant a monster. And the reason Saya was wearing sunglasses in class was because she was trying to hide her multicolored eyes. It was like well, now that you got the telescope to work, why don't we show her what it really looks like, so that it'll give Saya the reassurance that the Albireo is something of a positive matter, something of a very good remark, instead of a monster or the name of a monster. That's right. My telescope isn't broken. So with an excited expression, Hikari once again looked into the telescope. So I think she's going to point the telescope at the Albireo stars. But where is it? So what's wrong? Akito asks Hikari. Uh-oh, the moon's gone. Well, not really. So even though we had to move the telescope, the moon has somehow disappeared. Yeah, you're right. I wonder why. Maybe the moon moved? Well, the moon wouldn't move that fast. So at first Hikari looked at me incredulously, but then it seemed as if she had quickly realized something. Oh, so now she knows what's happening. So the moon does move, but I don't think it moves that fast to the point where it gets out of the view of the telescope. And even though it was something so obvious, she has said it as if it were a huge discovery. Well, up until now, we had never really known or been aware that the moon was actually moving. Looking up at it normally, it seems to be still, but when we looked at it with the telescope, we can tell it was moving little by little. So it is moving, but I think they were talking a little bit too much, and it gave the moon enough time to move out of the view of the telescope. So the telescope was focused in on that exact pinpoint location, and once the moon slowly moved out of the pinpoint location, it went out of view of the telescope. Yeah. So they're talking quite a lot when Akito was sharing his past with Hikari. It was like we had seen the hidden side of the world. And we nodded together in astounded agreement. It kind of reminds me of that microscope video that I saw in biology class. Where they introduce us with the fact that this is what our eye can see. But is this all there is? And then that's when they introduce microscopes. And then they show all these really powerful microscopes, like the electron microscope, and then at the end they mention that, well, if you want to look deep into the world, you don't have to buy expensive equipment like the electron microscope. A standard optical telescope or a microscope is all you need to enter the depths of the world. So that night, the two of us had actually confirmed one of the mysteries of space. We had witnessed with our own eyes the reality that the moon was in constant motion. That night, the two of us stayed up late while stargazing with my telescope. I wonder if there might be some time in the past where everyone thought that the Earth was center and like everything revolved around the Earth, including the sun. But I'm not sure when someone brought up a new theory that was widely accepted. Because I'm not really good at history, but there was a period where people believed that the Earth was in the center of the universe and everything revolved around Earth. So that night, the two of us stayed up late while stargazing with my telescope. All the while, we felt the truth of being accomplices in uncovering the secrets of the night. Okay, so now it's the next day at school. So it was morning, and standing in front of me, or the classroom door here at school, I let out a long sigh. So Hikari had come over to my house last night, and we looked at the moon together through my telescope together. It was such a wonderful experience. How long has it been since something so emotional and dramatic made my heart beat so fast? My heart was racing from the thrill I felt as I gazed at the lunar landscape with her. And yet, I made a shameful mistake while I was caught up in the moment. I'm sure this is what Dad had wanted to show me. So what does Akito notice now? So I think the Takeichi gang is here. So what the heck is up with this woe is me attitude? The embarrassment of remembering was enough to make me want to throw myself out of the window. But Hikari had quietly listened to me talk about all of that. I wonder what she really thought of me then. So how the heck do I face her after that? As I was fidgeting in front of the classroom, okay, so Hikari's actually sharing her experience with looking at the telescope with someone else. And I'm pretty sure it's Saya. So she's telling about Saya, or she's talking to Saya about, wow, I got to look at the telescope, I saw all these cool things. And Akito just goes, I overheard a very exciting voice speaking. So I think Hikari's sharing her experience with more than just Saya, probably the whole class. I was certain that she was talking about me. Well, I'll just go to the restroom. Okay, so Saya is actually in the hallways, not inside the classroom, hearing Hikari's exciting story about the telescope. Right as I turned around, there was Saya, who had just arrived at school. There you go. She flinched, startled by my sudden movement, and looked up at me with alarm reflected in her multicolored eyes. So she's still not comfortable being around with Akito yet. And she still thinks that Akito is going to say some negative remarks about her and her multicolored eyes. And she starts to cry. Okay. So no escape. I faced forward again and entered the classroom. Okay, so he did take his restroom break, and well, he still has to enter the classroom. Okay, so Hikari is still talking about her experience looking at the telescope with Akito. And I think the other classmates, they don't believe all the things that Hikari's trying to say. No, I did see it with my own two eyes. It's not some illusion or some made-up story or some fantasy. And now they're coming up with all these crazy ideas like oh, so is there a bunny there? I wonder if Hikari's exaggerating. Like oh yeah, there was. So I think the classmates were asking about so was there a bunny on the moon? Was it hopping around? And Hikari's like there might be. Oh yeah, it was hopping. Akito clears up the confusion. It's like no, there's no bunny. I retorted without thinking. I tried to avoid eye contact by turning away, but it was too late. Because Hikari notices Akito. So they're kind of suspicious, like, when did Hikari get closer to Akito? The girls in the classroom all glared at me in surprise after hearing that Hikari had hung out with me the other day. Oh, good morning, Hikari. What happened? They changed a lot from yesterday. The girls started to whisper amongst themselves like we were up to something taboo. It felt like there was a huge misunderstanding on the rise. So while we were waiting or looking at the moon together last night, Hikari suddenly sprang this conversation at me. So I think Hikari's kind of mentioned like, do you think it's kind of strange that we only see each other at school? Maybe we should visit each other a little bit more. Like we should do more stargazing trips together or stargazing events together. And Akito seems to be okay with it. So okay, we can have more observations and stargazing trips together. And in return, you should visit me as well. Or like, you should visit me as well. Wait, isn't that going a little bit too far? So the fact that, it can't be always me coming over to your place to do stargazing. Maybe you should bring your telescope and come over to my place as well. Like a fair balance. Well, yeah, I guess not. See, we're now closer friends than before. And so we decided that we'd spend time together outside of school as well. And although truthfully, I wasn't really used to the idea yet. So I think when he saw Hikari basically just talking to the girls about how excited she was last night about the telescope and looking at the moon and as such, he kind of felt uncomfortable. The fact that the girls are saying that, how did Hikari and Akito get closer together? And obviously that can always go in the wrong direction, especially among little kids who are still in elementary school. It's nothing. I watched her expressions carefully as I answered. It didn't seem like my emotional debacle last night was affecting her in any way. I don't think it does. Well, I felt a little relieved. Oh, so let's just talk about what happened last night. Well, I think that is the problem. I don't know if that's true or not. Well, I think some people are excited, but some people might think you're lying, it's a joke, there's no way that's possible. So when I had come to the classroom, I was too busy worrying about what to do. So I had noticed that the way my classmates saw me had changed from yesterday. Well, I wouldn't go far as to call it respect, but it was something along those lines. Well, at least they weren't looking at me all confused, like I was some kind of alien anymore. Wow, so Hikari's jumping a little bit too far ahead now. She's like, how about we all come together and have a stargazing party so we all get to look into Akito's telescope. I wonder how the other classmates feel. It's too much for me, it's too complicated. But there's only one telescope. So I don't think Akito is open to that. The fact that Hikari wants to put him face to face with more classmates, going from someone that's always hiding in the corners, wanting to be alone in solitude, to someone that's engaging, being able to interact more with the other classmates. I caught a quick glance at first. He was sitting by the window, staring at the scenery outside and keeping away from the classroom commotion. So I think he's noticing Saya, who's still... He looks kind of upset. She had always been a little unapproachable, like she tended to put up walls between herself and the others. But Akito agrees with it. So yeah, that's good. Sounds good. So Akito says okay, so it should be alright. So I think the classmates are not open to this idea. So despite their half-hearted responses, Hikari and I looked at each other with knowing glances. We had predicted this kind of back and forth discussion last night. But it seemed that the first step to our grand scheme was a success. So I think Akito kind of anticipated that this was gonna happen. Like Hikaru was gonna be so excited about looking through the telescope that she's probably gonna invite her other friends over and have them all see what Hikari saw. Okay, so now the idea goes up to the teacher. It's like, how about we have a class activity where we have all the students or all the class go look at stars with Akito's telescope. So like as a class. So it was lunchtime. So after Hikari and I devoured our lunches, we interrupted Saotome's lunch to tell her all about our idea in the hallway. So Miharu does notice that Akito is a little bit more engaging, and so Miharu was the one that suggested Akito and or Hikari to look at the moon last night because the moon was shining bright. It's probably one of the few days when the moon is still bright, and it's a good chance for them to observe the moon. So I was like, well, I did see the moon. Thank you very much, teacher. And though we lacked the vocabulary to adequately express ourselves, it was easy to tell by our expressions how moving, engaged it was for us. And the teacher's happy. So Saotome sensei replied to Hikari and then turned around and smiled gently at me. I felt my cheeks flush, and so I lowered my head to hide my face. So Saotome sensei once again glanced at my expression. So she is trying to see or she does notice that Akito's a bit brighter and a little bit, let's see, more content, happy compared to what he was during the last few weeks when he's all gloomy, depressed, and wants to hide in the corners. Well, this time, it seems she was a little bit worried. So what else is wrong? Well, since Saotome sensei was our homeroom teacher, I'm sure she noticed that I had a hard time fitting in the past month since I transferred here. So looks like the teacher's okay with the idea, because at least it brightens up Akito more. So now she's asking them, so what kind of stars do you want to see? Or what stars have you planned for our class to see as a whole. Okay, so the Albireo stars. Just like the time when he mentioned it to Saya on the first day of her. So her first day at this school. I caught out suddenly. Well, I really like for everyone to see Albireo. So our teacher looked a little bit surprised, but she nodded her head. Okay, so I'll fit this idea somewhere in my lesson plan. And obviously Hikari is happy about it. Okay, so how about you two plan this event, decide what we're gonna do, how it's gonna work, all the details, the structure of this activity. Okay, let's see what she says. Okay, so where are we gonna set up this event and how it's gonna work, because the chances of seeing Albireo, it's not always there. There may be times where the star disappears from view and you have to wait for quite some time before you can see it again. So Hikari nodded her head with a "I already knew that" expression on her face. Well, it is important to carefully plan out when and from where certain stars can be seen. Can you do that? So as if on cue, our eyes met in agreement. So at least they got the permission from the teacher. And obviously the teacher's happy about the idea. Okay, so Miharu is willing to allocate time for this activity. Okay. Okay, thank you very much, Miharu Sensei. I called out. Okay, so he calls her Miharu instead. And though she was slightly taken aback at first, she chuckled. Work hard! So with that, she gave me an encouraging pat on my shoulder. And I felt a gentle and warm feeling bubbling up inside me. Well, it had been so long since I had an adult expert or expect anything like this from me. So since the passing of his parents, and the fact that his grandpa doesn't really do anything, just, this is the food, here you go, leave me alone, put me in peace, and then just goes into his room and closes the door. Okay, let's go, Akito. Oh, right. So I think they're going to go ahead and get this event all set up. And I think they were going to exit school, and that's what got the teacher questioning them. Oh, okay, so they're going to the library. It's like, well, you're supposed to be in the classroom at lunch, You shouldn't be going anywhere, but they're just gonna go to the library and get some resources on this Albireo stars, and have an idea on how to set this event up so that they can see the Albireo stars. And with that, we took off towards the school library. Hey, no running in the hallways! Okay, so it's now after school, and so it's decided that we would have a stargazers meetup. Well, we expected that Takeichi would complain, so it's a good thing we had explained it all to Saotome sensei beforehand. And as soon as Saotome said that it was a great idea, the decision was unanimous. We moved on to the planning stage of our event. Okay, so they're at this store. So after school, Hikari took me to the local candy shop on the way home. So next to the Mikazuki station, there were many shops that lined the streets. The signs of the shop read Saotome. Okay, so I think we know what this place is. We've seen it in the phases where that took place in the present times. Oh, hello Hikari, come on in. So calling out to Hikari, a little old stout lady emerged from the back of the shop. A puzzled look crossed her face when she saw me. Oh, I haven't seen her around before, but you must be Akito Sarami. So I think that Hikari has been telling this old lady all about him. Yeah. How did she know my name? Probably Hikari?
Miharu から聞いてるよ。ちょっと強情だけど面白い子がクラスに入ったって。
And also from the teacher, Miharu. Well, it's obvious because Saotome, that's Miharu's last name. Haha, yeah, oh.
おばちゃんは早乙女先生のお母さんなんだよ。
I think I know that. Granny. So this lady is Saotome Sensei's...
よく似てるだろ？あの子、私に似て美人だから。
Oh, don't I look like her? Well, you know, she inherited all my looks. Granny said before letting out a or a hearty cackle. I could only nod meekly in reply. Well, it's really hard to reply to someone's really extraneous claims like oh yeah, I look beautiful, right? And you know, the teacher inherited all of my good looks, or all of her good looks from me.
いつも娘が世話になってるわね。あの子、学校でちゃんとやってるかい？
But you know, at least you have a good teacher.
うん、やってるよ。みんな先生のこと大好きだもん。ね、アキト。
Yeah, all the students love Saotome Sensei. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so he kind of knows how to talk. Like, yeah, she's good. She's excellent. And Akito just tags along. I suddenly blushed and started to fidget. Akito, So Hikari proceeded to talk the old lady's ear off about various topics. Oh, is that so? So Granny gave me a deliberately surprised look. Okay. What did she just say? Okay, so Hikari's here to buy some of her items in the shop. So Granny disappeared into the back. Hikari looked over to a large dog lounging at the side of the shop. Hey, Taro! So the dog lazily turned its head towards Hikari. Oh, so this is Taro? So he really is a big dog. So from the looks of him, I'm sure that he had German Shepherd blood somewhere in his mutt heritage. Take a look! So to prove her point, Hikari looked down and gave Taro a big hug. I don't think Taro liked it. It sounds like he's growling. Okay, so how about you try, Akito? I'll pass, thanks. So despite being a big old dog, he had a glint to his eyes and an edge to his growl that warned me he was serious. I felt a little sorry for Takeichi after thinking about how he must apologize to Hikari after she'd thrown his indoor shoes to Taro's doghouse. Okay, so looks like Granny has brought the item that Hikari wants to buy. And I'll go ahead and stop here. So I'm sure in the next episode we're gonna see when or how this class activity of observing the stars will go. But at least it got Akito to be more engaged, more involved, and more connected with the class compared to what he was when he first transferred to the school. And the first few weeks when he was always quiet, wanting to be alone, isolated from the rest of the class. And I'm pretty sure Miharu agreed with the idea of stargazing because it's some topic that can connect with Akito. And that's obviously what all teachers want. They want everyone to be involved. They want like a community versus individual students. And let's see how Takeichi, the school bully, is going to react to this stargazing event. And lastly, you can see how all this connects to the present day. Like, this shop was called Saotome, and this is probably what it was before it became a convenience shop called Stop and Buy. And that's where the current Akito is working, or where he's currently working. So with that in mind, I'll see you later.